What is up, Finesse family? Hopefully, everybody is having a great day today, guys. It is Freestyle Finesse Friday, so we're going to get straight into the topics. Some of the things you guys sent me you wanted to talk about. We're going to get into some things that are going on as far as trending in the news, and we're going to get straight into it. So, hopefully, you guys are having a great day today. Hopefully, you are getting yourselves ready to finish work or get off work. So if you're new to the channel, hello, hola, bonjour. Good day to you guys. My name is Mrs. B Finesse of millennialfinessemindset.com. And here what I do is we have conversations where I break down and I educate and teach you guys on how to have mindful mindsets and the finesse mindset. So mindful mindset is just being aware. So when we talk about different topics, things going on in the news or whatever issues you guys have, I want you guys to be aware that you need to have a mindful mindset, whatever it is, viral trending topics, family topics, relationship topics, money, wealth. You have to be mindful of where somebody is in their walk and journey on it and their understanding of it. And also the finesse mindset, and the finesse mindset means faithfully innovating, inspiring, being naturally effective, and seeking success every day. All right. And here, guys, we are called the Finesse family. And if you are new, once again, welcome to you guys. So once again, if you miss any streams, make sure you guys go back and watch them and also comment. I always say that. Let me get the chat up. Let me make sure you guys can hear me. That always is great to make sure. There we go. Yeah, good. You guys can hear me. To make sure that you guys go back and comment on the streams. That helps with new subscribers, new viewers to the channel. The comments are awesome because people can go through and look at the comments and they can see what the topic is about and what you learned from the topic, what you enjoyed from the conversation, and how it helped you or helped whoever watched it. So make sure you guys comment. I implore that. I'm going to say that every video. Go back and comment. If you missed your stream, no worries, guys. Hashtag replay. Make sure you go back and replay. Also, an extra perk is now, since we hit our 1K mark, we have channel memberships, right? So you guys can join the Finesse family here. Costs less than a cup of coffee for those coffee drinkers. And it is a monthly subscription to the channel. And it helps support the channel, support everything that we're doing as far as equipment and things needed for the channel. Everything goes back into the channel. So thank you guys that are already channel members. I appreciate that. Thank you guys that have joined. Thank you for comment, liking, subscribing to the channel, sharing the content. Also, sharing helps out a lot too, guys. Make sure you are sharing the content with your friends and family on social, because you guys know I'm new to social media. So it definitely helps when you guys share it, all right? Because as my daughter says, sharing is caring. So let's get into it, guys. Okay, guys, so once again, we are getting back into Freestyle Finesse Friday like we do every Friday. You guys send me topics and things you want to talk about. Let me get my comment section back open. If there's anything you guys found out that was going on in the news that you wanted to talk about, make sure you guys drop it in the chat, or you can come up if you want to talk about it. I'm going to try to make sure I put the stream up. I'm going to try to make sure I put the stream up. Drop it now before I forget. But make sure that you guys, if there's something going on that you guys see or want to talk about, make sure that you guys put that in the chat so we can go over it, right? So the first thing that you guys sent me was we love talking about the Will and Jada situation, right? So we're gonna break that down. We're gonna get analyze that for a mindful mindset and see why this dynamic is so prevalent to a lot of people, because this whole conversation with their relationship and this whole conversation with what's going on is a key part in many people's lives and in many people's relationships. So I really do enjoy talking about this, guys, because everybody has something to say about it. So let me get this article up, guys, that I was given, and I'll add that to the stream, right? All right, guys. So this article, so it's so interesting because when you hear men and women talk about this, guys, I know a lot of times when I'm talking to people about it, a lot of people are saying that they feel like she's basically being a user, Jada, right? Allegedly. And that, Will's trying to do everything to please her. He's trying to do the right thing. And she's still basically not over. A lot of people are saying the whole issue with Tupac and things of that nature. Let me bring this article up. I was looking through this, and this is an article, guys. Let me get it up for you guys. This is an article on, let me bring it up. Okay, so this one is the Will and Jada, and it's a very awkward Instagram clip of Jada putting Will on the spot resurfaces. So this right here is really weird, the dynamic. So let me kind of go over what was being said first, because when I watched the video, it was interesting to me, guys. Make sure you're hitting the like button on the way in. We're starting off Freestyle Finesse Friday with the topic that you guys always ask me, especially with trending going on since the Oscars, is the Will Smith situation. And there's all these clips that are coming up. I know me and my husband talked about it, and he was saying how he just doesn't like the fact of how Jada is acting, and Will is doing everything to try to do right by her. And it seems like she never can be, I guess you could say, fulfilled. And she also said that, which was interesting. So here it says the Smiths have never been shy about airing the dirty laundry, right? So it says an Instagram live video shot on Jada Smith's phone. So this was in 2019. It says resurfaced. And then it says in the clip with the camera on her husband, says therapist Esther Perel. So this is a therapist that she's been talking to. Is booked on as a guest on the Red Table Talk, and she asked, apparently without warning, would you say she has been instrumental in you and I defining our relationships? So before we start that, guys, I want to know your perspective on that. Do you guys think it's okay to just start recording your family members and or your friends or relatives on a live stream like that and ask questions? And let's take it into context too, because we know that they've been on social media. So do you think that'd be a problem for her to just start recording him? Is there a problem with that? Because he took it personal. I had to watch it a couple times because I was like, it didn't make sense to me at first. And then in context, when you keep looking at it, then you're like, oh, he's not playing. Oh, it says my mic is low. Okay, hold on. Let me turn it up. How does it sound now? How does the mic sound? Let me make sure my mic. Okay, cool. My mic sounds loud on that other device. Okay. So let me break this down first, guys. And so it says, so she says, I would say don't just start filming without asking me if you can film me. Says a very unimpressed looking Will Smith. And so at first, guys, like I said, I thought he was playing because like it looked, Will, he's a comedian, right? So it looked like kind of like he was joking. And then he says, and Jada says, oh my goodness. And then she says, this is their therapist. Her name is Esther. Esther comes to help us again. Please, I'm still dealing with the foolishness. And it was really weird and uncomfortable. And it just kind of shows you what they've been going through. And like me, guys, I always tell people, don't get so caught up in what you see on the outside with people. I think people do this to a default, especially with Will and Jada. Like you guys know we loved that they were the epitome for everybody says quote unquote black couple. We love the fact that Will and Jada stood for the longevity of being married. But you really have to stop looking for idols. That's how the best way I can word that. You got to stop looking for perfection in other people and really focus on yourself, because a lot of times you guys look at these famous people and you look for perfection, and then when you see it, it's like you idolize it, and then when they mess up, it's like people are ready to throw them to the wolves. When if anybody is in a long-lasting a standing relationship that is promising and productive and worthwhile, you know there's ups and downs in it. And the biggest part about it is not the marriage. If we're talking about a marriage, it's not the wedding. It's really after that. Like, can you withstand after that? Can you be committed after that? Can you deal with them being a loudmouth, mistreating you, all these other things? And can you stand there and have standards while you're there, but also can you forgive them and give grace? And a lot of people do not talk about that side of a relationship or marriage. They talk about the lovey-dovey part. They talk about the being together and taking a picture of when your husband and wife bought you something for your birthday or trips that you're on and all those other things, but you don't talk about the realness of it, right? So that's what needs to be talked about more. So let me play the video for you guys. If you're just getting in, hit the like button. We on the Will and Jada tip. You guys love talking about this, but we're going to talk about it with a mindful mindset. We're going to break down and find and layer this like we're teaching a lesson. Layer this and help teach each other about what you need to look for and how to be mindful of these things, because a lot of times there's signs and warnings. All right, so here's a video, guys, and this is, let me give it to you in context so you know what's going on. Basically, Jada is recording Will, and he says, I would say just don't start filming me without asking me if you can film me. And he's very unimpressed, and like he has his like blank face. And then Jada says, oh my goodness. She's talking about their therapist, which their name is Esther Perel. And she says she's come to help us. She's basically kind of baiting Will to me. Like, she's trying to get him to basically say like that person helped them. And Will is he just looks he doesn't even look like he wants to be part of the conversation. So here it is, guys.
Esther Perel is coming to the table. She's going to be at the red table. Would you say she has been instrumental in you and I redefining our relationship?
I would say don't just start filming me without asking me.
Oh my goodness.
If you could film me.
Esther, come help us again, please. I'm still dealing with foolishness.
Because she don't just.
Now see right there, that part right there, I get where maybe Jada wanted a response, but that's not how you handle that. Because if you especially, this is me, guys, if you really know your spouse, your partner, whoever it is, if you really know them, you can tell by their facial expressions when they're really in something. You can tell if they really feel like being bothered. And I'm pretty sure if this is your husband for 20 plus years, looking at him, you could have read that situation and tell and being able to tell he probably doesn't want to talk right now. So at that point, I'm either in the live stream or turn it away from him. Don't bait him. So right there, I feel like she's wrong because she's baiting him. And you can tell like he doesn't feel like talking. So let me continue.
Would you say that she helped us heal the hurts that we caused between one another?
My social media presence is my bread and butter, okay? So you can't just use me for social media and not, don't just start I'm standing.
Okay, so right there too, that's why I had to watch it a couple of times. Because like I said, guys, I don't really know about a lot of this stuff unless you send it to me. So especially back in 2019, I really wasn't paying attention. I think that's when it started breaking, maybe like in 2017, 2018, rumors start going around about them or whatever, like proof rumors, right? And then, so when I watched it, I thought he was trying to be funny. I mean, let me know what you guys think. I thought he was like trying to be funny because a lot of times he is trying to be funny and stuff. So at that point, he says that my social media is my bread and butter. And so I really, really thought, like, I had to watch it a couple of times. He was being like, trying to crack a joke with her or whatever. And he was totally serious when he said that, guys. He didn't want her recording him. Good grief, he was not playing. Let's see. OG Patrice says, greetings and salutations. Vaughn says, if you were just now joining the stream, welcome. Please feel free to hit that like button on the way in. Yes, guys, make sure you hit the like button. It is free. And consider joining the Finesse family channel. Also, too, channel membership has its privileges. Let's see. We got the Intentional Millionaire. Hey, Intentional. He says, hola to the Dream Team in the chat. Hey, Gail, hopefully you're having a great day. Shout out to you. Thank you for the stream last night. If you guys missed that, you need to go back and hashtag replay it. It was excellent. We talked about how to fix dysfunction in the family and relationships in your life. And it was a great conversation. So thank you for that. Let's see. My thing is a little bit behind, but it's all good. All right, guys. So thank you. Let me get that up. Fair use. This is for informational purposes only. So if you're just getting in, make sure you hit the like button. New subscribers and viewers, thank you. So guys, we're talking about Will and Jada and this family dynamic. It's so funny because like yesterday we were talking about dysfunction, how to fix family dysfunction, and how this goes back to childhood. And Will and Jada have been together 20 plus years. And I want you guys to really see this because I think a lot of times, especially when you're getting into arguments with loved ones, family members, co-workers, employers, whoever, sometimes we do not read the signs, guys. We do not see what do they call it? The writing on the wall? Is that a way to phrase it? You don't see it. And then when you watch this video, you can tell the dysfunction breakdown here. You definitely can see it. You see the breakdown in how even Will and Jada respond to each other. Can't post comments on the same destination. Okay. There we go. Okay. Let me see, make sure I can see all my comments. All right, guys. All right, so let me go back into the video and play that. Make sure you guys are sharing, hitting the like button. If you're new to the channel, normally I am streaming Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday at 1 p.m. So make sure you guys check those times out. And if you miss them, make sure you hashtag restream. All right, so here we go. Let me finish playing it.
In my house, don't just start rolling.
Please watch us stare at the red table because she's helped us a lot. Can't you tell?
Okay, so let me just let it play one time for you guys that just got in so you can see what happened. See if it'll replay. There we go. So once again, let me set this one up and then we're going to have a discussion about this because like I said, guys, you can tell that he did not feel like being bothered. So at that point, you should not even have started recording him. And once again, these are truths, guys. This is really what happens in behind closed doors with people. So I wouldn't be shocked what he said to her. It's nothing wrong with what he said. That's personally what he feels. He said that his social media presence is his bread and butter. And then I noticed, I don't know how long ago, it's just a blur to me, but I did notice Will Smith start being on, I think YouTube. He has a channel. I don't know if he's partnered with YouTube or Facebook, one of the two. But I'm like, why are these famous people going on like YouTube and stuff? They already are making movies and all these things. But I guess, once again, like he said, that's his bread and butter. So let me play that again for you guys just got here.
You know Esther Perel is coming to the table. She's going to be at the red table. Would you say she has been instrumental in you and I redefining our relationship?
I would say don't just start filming me without asking me.
Oh my goodness.
If you could film me.
Esther, come help us again, please. I'm still dealing with foolishness.
Because she don't just.
Would you say that she helped us heal the hurts that we caused between one another?
My social media presence is my bread and butter, okay? So you can't just use me for social media and not, don't just start rolling. I'm standing in my house. Don't just start rolling.
Please watch us stare at the red table because she's helped us a lot. Can't you tell?
Now that last part,
you know Esther,
that was the manipulation part. And that's why, like, unless you see it, especially ladies, unless you see it, you don't notice the condescendingness of what you do. You don't notice, like, the slickness of it. You shouldn't have recorded him to start off. So you just kind of had to take what was coming with that because you just started recording him and he told you don't do it, number one, right? And then the next part of it, you could tell, you could see it building up how she got so angry because of his response. And he just said, okay, we're in the house. I don't want you recording me. I don't feel like being recorded. It's understood that he wanted you to stop. And then you kept recording. So it's not unclear. And it's funny to me how, unless you've grown and involved, because guess what? Everybody does not start off knowing it all, even if you do know and you are taught right, still doesn't mean you choose to do the right thing. So as you especially evolve as women and we notice these type of things, you got to change them. Because if you don't, change those manipulative ways and that, you know, that passive aggressiveness. And obviously men do this too, but I think we've mastered it as women. And then how towards the end of it, it's like you tried to make everybody feel sorry for you because he didn't want to be in the conversation, which is a respect thing. Just respect him. He doesn't want to be on camera. Luke Hazley 20 says, so sad. He tried to set boundaries and she dismissed him like he wasn't even. Yep, that's my point. At the very end, how she panned the camera back towards her and just like paused for a second. I mean, this is your husband. We don't know him like you know him. You know him. So the simple fact that you kept recording him and he just said, like, you could tell. I mean, to me, I could tell when she first started recording him, you can kind of see like he just kind of looked down like that. Like he was done. He was over it. He didn't feel like being recorded. And like she just went in. Vaughn says very inconsiderate and dismissive. And like I said, guys, you never can tell unless, number one, you have an open mindset to receive. Because a lot of people, they can be ignorant. They don't want to receive because they always think they're right. And number two, if you really kind of close the doors of maybe even things you've been taught in your past by, you know, your family and Big Mama and all these other things, like you have to bring that down and you have to see what it really is. And that was disrespectful. That was pretty much what that was. It was disrespecting him as a man. And the simple fact of my thing is you already know between you and him if the therapy was working. So why did you need to come on and say it and make him like agree? It was kind of like you were trying to bait him to agree. But if you know it's working, just tell your followers it's working. You don't need him to clarify because they're your followers, not his. So it was just kind of cringeworthy looking at it. What do you guys think? Was that cringeworthy to you? Or guys, let's make sure you get the likes up. Let's get the likes up. Let's get them up. Get them up. Vaughn says, somebody, if you forgot to hit the like button, was it you? Well, don't feel bad. You can do it now. Yes, hit that like button right now, guys. Hit it. So it says, ignoring. So if you didn't hear that, what he said is, my social media presence is my bread and butter. Okay, he pleads. So you just can't use me for social media. You know, don't just start rolling. I'm standing in my house. Don't just start rolling. Don't. Ignoring his protest, she turns back on the camera. And then it says, so this one was interesting to me too, guys. So let me definitely get that fair use part up. I don't know if you guys seen this or watched this, on that portion of the Red Table Talk, but I think this one was right after, guys. I think this one was right after the entanglement thing. But I'm going to try to find the exact part where he was talking. And I don't know if you guys heard about it. I want to hear what you guys' perspective of it is. So basically he was saying that he had when she was 37, he started planning Jada's 40th birthday party. And it took him 3 years. He said he got a videographer and he said he was doing it because he wanted to make it special for her. And I guess her grandmother had passed away. And so he wanted to have this special, special scene with her grandmother. And basically, after the whole conversation, she was basically saying she didn't want that big birthday party. She didn't want the big birthday party at all. So I remember I was talking to my husband. He was like, he can't do anything for her. He was like, she's the type of person that just can't be happy. And nobody got time to keep trying to make you happy when you don't want to be happy. And so it's funny, the dichotomy, when I thought about it, because I was like, why didn't she just let him know that she just didn't want all that stuff? Because I guess when you're in the public eye and they're out there and they're always being seen, maybe he just thought maybe you want a lot of people around, right? And he said he felt good about it. He got Mary J. Blige, all these famous people to come to the get for her birthday party. And he said the whole time she was just looking mad and sad or whatever. And then afterwards, I guess she talked to him and said she didn't want it. She didn't even want the party. So I guess it was like a whole weekend thing. He started it like in the middle of the weekend. It was something every day. And I guess she told him the second day to stop. She don't want anything else to go on. And then he said he admitted that it was my ego. It was so weird to hear it, guys. I'm going to find that part. Let me find it and play it for you guys. Because I was like, huh? Even if you didn't like what he did, the fact that he planned it, I mean, like, good grief. Let him finish it. I don't care if I didn't like it. I could tell your heart why you did it for me. And then afterwards, we'll have a discussion. But I'm not going to be so in my feelings because, and I don't, like I said, I don't remember what she said she was going through. Oh, she said she was going through a midlife crisis. But you're going through a midlife crisis and you have your husband there with you. It's not a boyfriend. It's not no play toy. It's a man that you've been with most of your life. So at some certain point, you have to give a little bit there. You can't just be so stuck in yourself. And let me let you guys know that though too. Those of you that aren't married, understand there's going to be times when you do get married in your marriage that one of you will be up and the other one will be down, and you cannot berate the person that is down because you know they know better. Because guess what? We're humans and our emotions go up and down and they're fickle. So if you're strong in your relationship and your marriage, you're going to know some things you just let it go. Like, okay, they're having a bad day. They want to be on one. Let them be on one. They're human. You're the one that chose to be with them for the rest of their life. You can't be mad at them because they're on one. And then as time goes, like as sure as the sun comes up, then the sun goes down and another day comes. And then normally after a day or so, they're different because that's what emotions do. So you have to be cognizant of that with your partner too. You can't expect them to always be chipper and happy and want to do the right thing all the time. You got to give them those little pockets or you're going to go crazy and it's not going to last. That's some wisdom for some of you. Lucchese says she is publicly humiliating him. I am really getting the vibe that she's emotionally abused him for as long as they've been married. Yeah, me and my husband were talking about that, Lucchese, because my whole thing, and I'm going to bring that clip up and I'm going to stop it and we're going to stop and play and talk about it because he talked about a lot of things. I don't know if you guys, I think he has a book out, but we'll talked about that a couple times, as far as what was going on in his life. And how even they said when they got Will said with Jetty, he said I'm not getting a divorce. Because if you didn't know, he got divorced once already and had a child by that lady. He says I'm not getting a divorce again. So I guess they knew when they got married that they're not divorcing each other at all. So I'm like, okay, if that's the option, if you guys are not divorcing each other at all, what are you guys doing to make the marriage function moving forward? Because it's super, super important to have conversations. You can't just say we're not going to ever get divorced and then you're not working on each other. Because I know towards the end of that Red Table Talk, she was saying that, I don't care if you're on one end of this house with your whoever person and I'm on another end with my person, we're not getting a divorce. And that's kind of dysfunction. Because what is the purpose of the sanctity of the marriage if you guys are going to still be with other people and work on yourself? How are you getting peace from that? How does that work? It doesn't really, to be honest. And if it is, it's jaded. Like, even if it does work, somebody's not happy. If you honestly ask all those people, somebody's not happy. So let me get that clip up. I don't know. Let me see if you guys can actually hear it. Okay, so first off, did you guys hear her talking? Let me know in the chat. Put a 1 if you heard her. I just played a little bit of it, and I want to see if you guys can hear it first. So I'm going to play a little bit more, and then you tell me if you guys can hear it. Put a 1 in the chat, guys. I'm going to wait. I don't really want to play anymore unless I know you guys can hear it. Let's see. Make sure you guys can hear it. Oh, yep. Let me get my fair use up. There we go. Okay. Lucchese says we can't. Okay. So I probably have to share it. So let me share it again. Go to share screen. Share. And let's go into that tab. Here we go. Share audio. Okay, cool. All right, so let me see if you guys can hear it now.
Mm-hmm. That's when I had a midlife crisis.
Yeah, your 40th birthday was my low point.
Okay, did we hear that? Let me know if you guys heard it, and then we'll stop and start. Make sure you guys are hitting the like button. Make sure you're hitting the like button. Make sure that you are. If you haven't subscribed, consider subscribing. If you have not joined the Finesse family channel, go ahead and do that too. And if you have not commented, guys, make sure you go back and comment on past streams, or if you haven't watched them, and share them. Super, super important. Okay, good. Here we go. Here we go. All right. So we're gonna go through this, and we're gonna start and talk about it. Here we go.
The day after her 37th birthday, I hired a team to orchestrate her 40th birthday. I had hired a documentary team. I traced mommy's family roots. Her 40th birthday was gonna be my thing.
It was going to be a splash.
It was gonna be a splash. Mary J.
Definitely was a
Blige.
splash.
Mary J. Blige performed. I debuted the film, all of that. It was gonna be the thing that lifted her out of this midlife crisis, and it was gonna be my deepest, most beautiful proclamation of love, and we did it. And I had found tapes of Jada's grandmother, and her grandmother had recorded these voice messages over the last 8 months of her life.
Wow.
And it was tapes that Jada had never heard.
Wow.
So Jada had to sit there and listen. I understand thoroughly now. At the time I didn't. But she's listening to these never before heard tapes
Okay.
of
So
one of the dearest people.
okay. So if you just seen Jada's face right there, you can tell in that picture, because Will's like super smiling, and she's kind of like looking just kind of off. That whole conversation that they're having right there, he's about to break down how he felt like he was doing the right thing, but Jada was saying that she was just distraught, and she was already having like a midlife crisis, and she just was frustrated already with their marriage and things of that nature. And my whole thing is, even in the midst of that, looking at the good in what he is trying to offer you, looking at how he wants to make this a spectacular day, it just behooved me how frustrated that she is. And that's frustrating. Somebody can never make you happy. They've been with you all these years. I'm pretty sure he's like, I've gotten her everything. What can I do special? And even in the midst of this, it's just the gravity and ideal of you being so I don't want it kind of catty. It's kind of sad, because I bet you there's a whole bunch of other women would love that he did
People
that.
she's ever known in her life in front of all of these people. So she's holding it together, she's getting it together. Then I have Mary J. Blige performing. The whole time I'm like,
Yeah.
the little boy that wants mommy to say everything was wonderful.
Okay, so did you guys catch that? So right there, Will Smith is saying this whole even process, and I keep telling you guys, it's mindful mindset. Understand that a lot of things are triggers from what happened back when you were younger. And Will admitted this whole time with his wife, it was this more so kind of like little boy wanting to please somebody, wanting to make sure that you're super happy. And right there, he could admit, and you can tell that he was giving way more, a lot more than in the relationship than what she was giving. At least in that moment, and when he explained it, because she's like, yeah. And he's like, he was doing it to get an accolade from her. And if you know anything about the mindset when men do things, guys, for the most part, it is more so like a like conquer, like a game, like they want the prize or award. They want the to win. That's what you are when he gets you. And it's not a bad thing. It's more so that's just how they are as far as when they process. It's more so I'm trying to get this. I'm trying to conquer it, win it, control it, and because it's mine and I care for it. And that to me was really sad, because he was basically doing everything to make sure that he was pleasing in her, and then he kind of lost himself. That's what I got from that. I mean, you guys can let me know what you got, what you thought, but that was a lot. Let me let a little bit more of it go so you guys can see in context what I was talking about.
Yeah.
Right? And she's having a really difficult emotional time. And then when we got back to the room, it was me, you, and mommy, and we were talking about the next day, and there were things planned for the next day, and she said, I'm not sure I want to do anything the next day. You can just cancel it. And I said, well, let's keep it, and then tomorrow you can decide. She was like, I'm telling you now, I don't want to do anything tomorrow. And I said, well, it's okay. We'll just wait and see.
And I think right there, obviously, because he had put so much money into this, he had planned all this, he had done all the things. He know, like with contracts and things, guys, if he planned this out 3 years ago, he knows that he can't stop it or get his money back from it or just end it, because all these people have planned these things out for years. So I get, you could tell when he was even explaining that, his frustration. And and can we just, I know you might think you don't want it, but you don't know. And sometimes you don't, guys. You know, when you're having a bad day or you're having a bad mood or something like that, in the moment you don't feel like you want to do stuff. But sometimes you have to come out of your head, come out of that mindset and do whatever it is, and then you'll find out that, oh, you get happier. You feel better because you did it. So I think that's really what he was trying to do. He was trying to get her to see, like, listen, you got to come out of this. You might enjoy this. You don't know, right? So let's keep going.
I just wanted to have intimate
Just
time.
intimate time. And I was like, well, I'll cancel tomorrow. She was like, it's my birthday.
Yeah.
Right? And she's told me that the party was the most ridiculous display of my ego.
Woo.
All right. So right there, she said the party that he planned for her was a ridiculous display of his ego. So I remember the conversation that when I was talking to my husband about it, he was like, that's so extreme, babe. She did all that. I mean, he did all that stuff for her, and she's just a user. She's trying to use him, and it doesn't make any sense if he's bending over backwards trying to please this lady, and he's been doing it. And just kind of like what Luke Casey was saying earlier, like it's like an emotional abuse. And I told you guys about that. We talked about that drama triangle. How you have the rescuer, and you have the persecutor, and then you have the victim. And even the cycle of, you know, when somebody is, you know, doing things. It could be they do what they do, then it's a honeymoon phase, and it's that cycle that comes back again, and it just keeps happening. And to me, I was shocked when he said this part. So basically, he just said that Jada said that this was an ego thing, that he planned this party, and it had nothing to do with her. So we're going to hear what Will says about this now.
Crushed, right? And to this day, I know I was crushed because it was true.
Yeah.
It wasn't a party for her.
Yeah.
And when she called me on that, that's when I snapped. And I'm sorry, that was the only time you ever heard me snap. Come here, baby.
Thank God.
And listen, and I snapped in front of Willow. It was the only time in her childhood she ever saw me snap. And I saw her look, and Willow starts crying. And I was like, baby, I'm sorry, I'm sorry. She's like, just figure it out. You guys, please just figure it out. Just figure it out. Right? And I was like...
And that was a display, that moment of like me having the courage to just say no.
No,
Yeah.
But now,
Okay. So, I mean, and parents, you guys know that. As far as like when you react in front of your child and you do all those things, they take that super, super personal. So I definitely want to know what you guys have to say about that part, because to me, I mean, for all intents and purposes, I'm not sure what she was going through. She said she was having a midlife crisis and all that. And I mean, like I said, even so, if she was, the respect factor was super, super off. It says Jada recalled, I think the turning point in our relationship for me happened when I turned 40. She says I had a midlife crisis. And then at that point, I wonder if she had a therapist at that point or a counselor to talk to, because I think that might have helped her out a lot instead of, you know, going off with him. And then Will says he agreed that was her low point. And then what was the other part of it? She said, so this was the comments, what people were saying about it. They said, one person commented, wow, what the F, before referring to Jada as ungrateful. So that's what some people were commenting about it. Another wrote, imagine being married. Hold on, let me go back into the comments after that. Somebody else wrote, imagine being married to someone that spent literally years planning a special event for you, and instead of gratitude, you say it's all to feed their ego. Marital bliss. What do you guys think about that? I mean, like I said, the conversation that I had with other people, and especially my husband, he said, like, yeah, pretty much. Like he spent, and to be honest, too, guys, especially if a man takes his time to do something like that, plans it out that long, he's got to care about you in some essence, because he could just go buy you something. He could just go buy something, go buy you a ring, some jewelry, whatever, and that's nothing because he really doesn't have to think about it. But he planned this out for you. And then the flip of it, and then, but he agreed. So then that was my, like, when I was talking to my husband, I was like, but he just agreed to it though. So is that still the emotional manipulation playing in his head? Or did he as a man, like, realize, oh, I did do this for really me and for me to be seen? What do you guys think about that? Because the whole dichotomy of it to me is like interesting, because I'm like, in a sense, if you understand the mind and the ego, a lot of times, and I told you guys that I did this when I first started streaming a couple months back. I told you guys a lot of time when you do stuff or you give when you give when you give advice, it's never really about wholly the person you're giving advice to. It's really you. It's you giving advice to what you want to happen or your perception, if that makes sense. So a lot of times when you're telling people stuff, you're not really thinking about them. You're thinking about what you think they should do. So with me, having that conversation too, going back and forth, I was thinking about it. I was like, I wonder, does he honestly feel like it was an ego trip for him? Or, as far as his mindset, is he just agreeing with her because she's told him it so long? Because understand this, guys, somebody can tell you something for so long and it becomes your truth, even if it's not real. So the ideal of her treating him a certain way, calling him out his name, saying whatever she said to him behind the cameras. We don't know what she's doing. We know how she acts in front of the cameras, but behind the cameras. And you guys know, especially women, if you can be honest, and men too, the manipulation that can happen in relationships. It's so prevalent. So I'm wondering what you guys think about that. If you're just getting in, guys, make sure you hit the like button on the way in. And also, guys, thank you, because this was mi feliz cumpleaños semanas. I haven't celebrated the birthday the whole week, so thank you to everybody for the cash outs, the super chats, all that stuff, guys. I really appreciate it. All of it goes back into the channel. Thank you guys that sent messages, emails, and all that for my birthday week. Feliz cumpleaños semanas. Thank you guys for that. Always want to give you guys a shout out, Finesse family, because you guys ride with me. You guys are always there. You guys act accordingly as a family, encouraging me and everybody here. So I always want to give a shout out to the Finesse family. And if you're new, Finesse stands for faithfully innovating, inspiring, being naturally effective, and seeking success every day. Gracias to all of you. I appreciate you guys so much. Let's see what you guys are saying in the chat. Vaughn says, have you been watching all this time and you have not hit that like button? No worries. You still have time. Go ahead and hit that thing. All right. Luke Hazley says, this breaks my heart because his personality reminds me of my little brother. She has him thinking that sharing his intimate relationship issues is okay. And is he younger than she is? I don't know, guys. Somebody do a quick Google search on Will Smith's age. I feel like they're the same age, or he's like a year or two older. But yeah, Lucchese, that's really what I was thinking when this was brought to my attention to do this article, and then I was seeing the stuff that was sent to me, and then I started looking over things, and then I was talking to my husband about it. It's like when you watch him. Let me go back. Even look at his face, guys. Like he looks so just wore out. Let me get his face back up on here. He just looks right here. Up. There we go. Once again, if you're just getting in, make sure you guys hit the like button on the way in. Make sure you guys are sharing. Sharing is caring, as my daughter says. Okay, so like even look at his face. So Lucchese saying, this breaks my heart because his personality reminds me of my little brother. And guys, even him being a comedian, you can tell, even to me, like, with Will Smith's history with his mother and father, and he's talked about how his father treated his mother and how he hated his father for the longest, and his father got sick, and that's when he got closer to his father. It just got older. And that whole, like I keep telling you guys, this is why these discussions are necessary. Mindful mindset. These discussions about what has gone on in our lives. A lot of you guys are walking around as your teenage self or your adolescent self. You're like 5 to 10 in your mind. And this is why you do what you do. And a lot of times, guys, if you do not deal with what's going on in your mind and you do not focus on the reality of it and let it go, which is starting to talk about it, you're going to stay stuck. And you're going to wonder why your relationships never last. Your relationships with your children don't last. Your relationships in life with jobs, they don't stay. You have commitment issues. You have issues with even being close and around people from things that happened when you were younger and you never dealt with them. All right. It is okay to be vocal and to be truthful about things. I think a lot of times people walk around smiling, and Will Smith and Jada are the epitome of this. You just smiling to smile, and you don't really deal with the issues because it looks good. And I talk about this to you guys all the time. Don't lose yourself looking good and end up messing up your future in your life with your family or your loved one because you want to look good for other people. What's that saying? You want to look good for people that you don't like, that they don't care about you, to get some love from them that they don't even have to give you. I just remixed that, made that up. But you guys know what I'm trying to say, though. You know what I'm saying. You're doing all this for other people, and you're not at peace. And what's the point if you're not at peace? So I concur with you, Lucas. She says he has me thinking that sharing, she has him thinking that sharing his intimate relationship issues is okay. And I know he doesn't want to talk about that stuff. I think, as you guys know, with social presences and people that are in entertainment, on social media, that are just out there and are big personalities, it's just part of it, right, guys? It's like they can't not. Once they put themselves out there, they cannot not talk. They cannot not expose and let everybody know, because a lot of times, even in their movies and things, it's signed in their contract. That's why you notice a lot of times with these actors and musicians, they never go into hiding per se. Once they do an album or they do a show or something, they have to keep going around doing these interviews and stuff. And even on the level of where they showed and exposed themselves, even talking about things with their daughter and all these other topics, once you expose all that, it's hard to come back from it. And I do think there's some air of secrecy that you should have. Now, if there's something that you know is going to help somebody and you are willing to expose it, and you know the ramifications of whatever could come, and you can deal with the backlash. Because a lot of people expose things and they don't realize it. You put that out there and people are going to have an opinion. They love whatever they feel like they want to say. So they're going to say and talk and say whatever they want. And once you put it out there, you cannot say, I don't want you to have an opinion about it, because it's out there. And people in their mindsets are so jaded, they feel like if they know anything about you, they can tell you about yourself. Which is not true in a sense, but it is when it's out there in social media. And you can't take that back. So I think, them getting a big payout for this and putting their family out there. I know Will, being the man and the protector, I know he probably didn't even want it to go this far. But once again, he had his wife and his woman in his ear talking, telling him, man, let's do it. This is going to help us. This is going to help our careers. And this is going to help our family. And then there's just more exposure that you put out there. And I think now he really, and probably Jada too. I wish they probably believe now we shouldn't have did all this. But it's too late. You put yourself out there. Put your family out there. And to me, my children are the most precious thing. So I'm not going to be willingly putting them out there and putting them in exposure. Now, it's different if we're public personalities and, I do vlog or something like that, then you see them already. You'll know. But I love the ideal of some intimacy of my family, my solitude, my privacy, my personalness. I always tell my husband this. I'll be wealthy and rich, but I never want to be famous. I don't want that. I don't want somebody following me. I don't want all that comes with that. I like the piece of going somewhere and nobody knows who I am in a sense. I mean, they do know me because I've worked in education. So it's funny when you're out and people, like especially young adults you've taught or teenagers or whoever you've taught, hey, Miss whatever. But yeah, I like it. I like my solitude. I like my personal time with my family. I like going places and doing things. And if somebody does know me, fine. But I don't need it to feel good. I don't need to be famous. I don't need all that, because guess what? The whole dichotomy of that is a falseness. Because I've showed you guys this many times with these social media influencers and these YouTubers and all these people that they get burned out. and they get really sick of being in the scene and being on the top of everything and being in everybody's face. Like, no human really wants that unless you're vain and narcissistic. That's the only personality type that wants that all the time. And they usually kind of go crazy sometimes. Vaughn says, I see why he's in rehab now. You need a break from that situation. Stockholm Syndrome. Let's see. Because he says, Feliz cansadas por la semana tu cumpleaños. Semana de tu cumpleaños. Gracias, Lucchese. Let's see. Hey, what's up, Trash Can Ways? Kick a freestyle, yo. What's up, Trash Can? Hopefully you're having a great day. Yeah, let's go. He says missing a few likes. Hit her up, gang. Yeah, hit the like button, guys. Make sure you're hitting the like button on the way in. Let's see. Okay, Will is 3 years older than Jada, but his emotional development seems to have been arrested. Trauma and neglect are major causes. Yes. And he talks about that too, Lucchese. He talked about that, I believe, when he was describing what was in his book. I remember him talking about that. And then, honestly, he talked about how he was so mentally hurt and done in from his father. And so we know, going back, he see his father mistreated his mother very badly, he said. So we can tell that trauma was in him. Even becoming famous at a young age. To me, even before, I say before 18, if you become famous as a teenager, I think that does a lot to the psyche. And if you are not mentally prepared to go into that realm, then it is something that, especially if you don't have the right people around you to guide you, the parent or somebody strong in that child's life, there's so many things that are negative, and so much negativity that can come in that lifestyle and in that walking in that light, that you have to be careful. And I never understand that when I see parents just let their kids go into music or acting and they're not there, especially if they're in their right mind. Now, if they're demented parents and crazy, whatever, but you are putting your child in a cesspool of just negativity and evilness, and there's so much going on in that world, because those people, to keep that lifestyle up, to stay famous, to stay relevant, they have to kind of live in a delusion. And then to escape, they do a lot of paraphernalia and drugs and alcoholism just to keep their peace, because they have to be in the public light. And people don't talk about that. They don't really talk about that side of being famous and having all those things. Hey, talk with Tori. He says they opened a can of worms by exposing too much of themselves. Yeah. And so much so, to me, talk with Tori, that some things I believe intimately with the family, it should stay with the family. Some things, now it's different if my purpose is to help break through and help you with something. So I understand why you could maybe open up a little bit to somebody or someone about something. But yeah, I mean, they went down into the cobwebs and they went down into the doggone cobwebs and started talking about things. Talk with Tori. I mean, they talked about so much stuff, and they're on that platform. I believe it's Facebook where the table talk is. So that's what the number one platform where people are engaging with each other. So yeah, I mean, I think certain things you just don't talk about. It's certain, especially if you want to have the sanctity of your home, your relationship, and your family. It's certain things that you shouldn't. And if you choose to talk about them, you got to be prepared for what's coming. And you need to be okay with that. You cannot be mad if people get in your business, got their 2 cents to say, and all that, when you put yourself on a social display and a platform, and then you open yourself up like that. I think like I said, there are times where you do need to open yourself up, because you will help somebody. You will bless them. You will break a chain off of them, because they're like, oh, you went through it, then I can. But to just tell you everything about all the things I went on in my life and all of it, and publicly anybody can receive it, not just the people that need it, but anybody can come in. Nope. You're not going to catch me doing that. And you're going to catch me always at peace too, because to me, certain levels, the way I understand things in my mind and my family and how much people mean to me, there's certain things even people tell me I'm not going to repeat. There's certain things I've been told from different people that I'm not gonna repeat it. About other people too, that to me it's just like, why am I repeating that unless I'm trying to be salacious? And I tell them, well, maybe you need to talk to that other person, or you know what, I don't know what you're gonna do about it. Sometimes you got to know when to just leave stuff where it is. Even when people try to gossip to you or tell you stuff or try to bait you, you got to know, especially where you are in your life. That's not my problem. Like, maybe you should go talk to them, right? But yeah, man. Let's see. Thank you, Vaughn. Yes, make sure you guys like, share, subscribe, and you can hit the Cash App and or join the Finesse Family Channel membership, or I think this buy me a coffee too. Yep, guys, if you want to, we dropped the link if you want to come up and talk about anything that's going on. Let's see. Luke Hazley says, Darius M just posted a video showing many times Jada humiliated Will for the world to see. Yeah, and I didn't even realize it was so many times, Luke Hazley, because like I said, as far as me, I'm living life. I'm not really paying attention to people, to be honest, especially famous people like that. Even award shows and things, I don't even watch that because to me it's so pre. I don't know. I don't feel like watching it because I see the vanity in it all, and it just was boring to me. So I don't even watch like award shows and things of that nature. I do like to see how people dress, so I do like fashion aspects of things because I like clothes and all those type of things. So sometimes I do look at that, but as far as like watching those shows, I don't post that. Yes. This is Freestyle Finesse Friday, and the topics are just trending topics, and we're just talking, guys. Hey, Talk with Tori. What's up? So yeah, guys, let me see. There was another part of that too. And look at it. Look at his face there. He just looks so wore out. You can tell he's been through the ringer with her. You can tell it. And Jada, I believe she does allegedly talk about a lot of things that she went through with her mother. And I believe her mother was a single mother when she had her. I think so. I think her mother's married now, but I think her mother was single. And just everything she said she was going through, and the way they raised the kids, and just so much extra stuff. Let me see, guys. There was something else. And to me, like I said, I think like now Will, he's still kind of caught up in some things, but I think he kind of wants to stand up too. I think he's done with it and he's tired of it. I mean, that's a long time, guys. 20 years? That's a long time.
Daddy, it doesn't matter that I'm done?
Ooh.
Yes, sweetie, it matters a lot. It does, but you can't be done.
Okay, so that part right there, guys, Will is basically breaking down when his daughter told him that she did not want to be in the music career anymore. So just to give you a backstory on that, Will and Jada's daughter, if you didn't know when she was younger, she got signed to Jay-Z's label. And, you know, Will Smith, he's big and famous, so of course he's probably going to get the biggest person out there to sign his daughter because they already have that star power. Will and Jada, the Will Smith's kids, they already have star power, right? And I don't know if she was between 8 and 11. She was super young. And I guess she was in the middle of the tour. She's on a worldwide tour, right, traveling for her song With My Hair. And she told Will in the middle of the tour, like, she was done. And, you know, once again, Will thinking, like, this is contracts, this is money. He knows that you can't just stop. And he was telling her, I know he was mad, too. I know he was mad when he was telling her this. He was telling her, like, you can't be done. And that's what he just said. She said, you know, I'm done. I don't want to do this anymore. And he said, no, you can't be done. And she was like, Daddy, I just want to stop. And then I guess the next day she cut her hair off. Right? So I was just like, good grief. Like, you should have been able to me, you got to read your children. And what I'm not going to do is I'm not going to force my hopes and dreams of what I wanted to do because I didn't get done in my life on my child. That's one thing a lot of parents do. Many parents do that. And you will have a child that is going to be regretful and revengeful to you because they're not happy. And I remember seeing that when they start putting the kids in, you know, television and TV and music and all that. I was like, dang, can they be kids though? Like, I know you guys are famous and they're going to have your star power, but that was my perception. That's how I felt. I felt like them kids are not going to be happy, and or it's going to show out as they get older in how they carry themselves in their relationships. And we see that. We see them doing things like cutting their hair off and all that because they're so frustrated with what's going on in their life.
She came down the next day and had shaved her head bald. I was like, does she know what she's doing? Like, that was a deep protest.
Yep.
What it did for me is I had a crazy realization in that moment. I was building what I wanted for her. And she tried all of the different ways to say, I don't want that.
Yeah.
So what do you guys think about that? Do you agree or disagree with that? How he handled that? Because to me, this was kind of layering on the beginning. Remember, we just heard him say when him and Jada were talking at the beginning of that video that he didn't plan this 3-year birthday surprise extravaganza for Jada. For somehow profoundly, he found out from his wife telling him that it was his ego, or her lashing out and yelling at him, that it was really his ego. He did not do it because it was something he wanted to do to help his wife. It was his ego. Do you guys think that's true? Yes or no? Let me see what else they were saying with this too. I mean, this whole thing, I mean, to me, it's a poster case for people not being honest in the relationship. People trying to put on. That's why I tell you guys all the time, even with the definition of finesse. Finesse, if you look it up, it means delicate, something intricate, delicate. But my definition of the word finesse is faithfully innovating, to inspire, to be naturally effective, seek success every day. Faithful means you got to get up and do it even when you don't want to. All right. Innovate, inspire means you are pushing past the normal, pushing past the things that you see. Naturally effective, be yourself. Don't try to be anybody or do anything else. Now, it is okay to have a mentor, somebody to look up to, but you are truly and ideally graced on this earth for your own purpose to do what you're supposed to do. And to do that, you have to be authentically yourself. The things you have in you were put in you because they're purposeful. And I think a lot of times we miss that. We want to make somebody be something or change something or do something, and you don't realize that those visions and those things that you care about and love are purposeful. They're really the reason why you're here, and you're wondering why you always feel a certain type of way when somebody talks about, I don't know, animals or the forest or kids or they talk about music or money. If you keep feeling like this drive towards something, probably what you're supposed to do. But a lot of times society will tell you, oh, don't do that, or you can't do that, or it's not feasible. And so then you lose your purpose and you're miserable. A lot of people are just miserable because they're not being naturally themselves. So once again, that's why we stick to that motto here. Finesse fam, faithfully innovate, inspire, be naturally effective, seek success every day. If you just work on that daily, by the time you build that up for a week, in a month, in a year, you're going to be where you need to be, man. I'm telling you, it really, you have to have a focus on what you need to do. Yes, thank you, Vaughn. He says, if you are enjoying the conversation, like, share, subscribe. We got Mr. Rucker in the building. He says, it's more motivation for an ironclad prenup. Yes, Mr. Rucker always comes through with the example, the premise, of purpose of how we can always add a prenup in it. I wonder, do they have a prenup? Somebody check that for me. Do they have a prenup, guys? See if they have a prenup. I wonder if they do. But I know what I got from that conversation, though, guys, because I listened to that whole thing, was more so any means necessary. They weren't getting a divorce. And I want to know what you guys think about that, because by any means necessary, they're not getting a divorce. She said even, and would you guys allow that? She said even if he lives on one side of the huge mansion compound with his person and she's on the side with her person, that is not in the plans. And Will said that. He said, I said after my first marriage, I told myself I'm never getting a divorce again. So I want to know what you guys think about that as far as them never getting a divorce. Do you think that's healthy as far as moving forward? Are they dealing with the reality of what they need to work with, never getting a divorce? Or do you think they're just creating chaos? What do you guys think about that? Because to me, my perspective of it is, I like the fact that the sanctity of, to them, they're going to keep working on their marriage. Well, working to stay together and working on, to me, are two separate things. So my whole thing is to stay together just to be together, and it's miserable and it's not productive. That's something you need to talk to, get a counselor, and work through that, right? But actually moving forward, being productive in the relationship, working to heal past wounds, and then the respect factor, now that's different dynamic. If you guys are just together for show and there's no respect, and you don't respect each other, and even on a public platform, Like the whole video, if you just got in, guys, I showed a video earlier, and Jada was recording Will, and he, he went off kind of because he was like, I don't want you recording me without letting me know. And she just did this kind of side eye pan to camera to her face, talking about, well, I don't know why, this is foolishness. I think something like that she said. And my whole thing is, you got to read your partner, and you got to read people too. It's not rocket science. And you should be able to tell how somebody feels just by paying attention to them and not being stuck in your feelings. So let's see. Vaughn says, Proverbs 21:9. It is better to dwell on the corner of a rooftop than be in a house with a quarrelsome woman or worrisome woman or worrisome wife. Yeah, and so people that don't know the word and you don't understand this scripture or parable, I'll break that down to you. It's basically saying, and I know the men in the chat, let me know if you agree. Say agree if you agree with this scripture here. So basically he's saying it is better to dwell on the corner of a rooftop than to be in the home with a quarrelsome wife. So that's basically saying, let me make it in plain English for all of you guys that don't get it. Women, a man loves the sanctity of his home. That's why he created. That's why he bought it. That's why he's paying for it. That's why he is giving you that place so you can live and raise his family. Or even if you guys are working together to do it, equal incomes, whatever. But he is the person that is supposed to be able to uphold the home. You make the house a home. He upholds it. And he makes it so you can have that place for the most part. And it's basically saying he wants to come home, right? That's his sanctity too. But if you make him so worrisome, if you're so worrisome and you're quarrelsome, means you argue a lot, you nag, you're mean, you don't say anything positive. Guys, there's always something positive to say about people. I don't care if it's the worst person in the world or they did something bad, there's always something positive if you look down deep. And that is something you never, women, want your husband to get to that point where he doesn't want to come home. You never want that, because that is the slow start of the end. Because if he doesn't feel safe at home, if he doesn't feel at peace at home, if he gets off work and does everything and drives around, man, let me know. Speak up if you're a man in the chat. Do you agree with me or disagree? Let me know, because I'm trying to help some marriages and some women in some relationships. You want him to want to come home. And to create that environment, you have to make it so it is a home for him and not just a house or an apartment or whatever you're renting, a condo. And to do that, you need to create an environment where there are means and ways to handle quarrelsome situations. So what it is if you do want to talk or you want to have a discussion with your loved one, man or women, you find a place and time for it. Don't just, especially if they just walked in from work, don't just start talking. All right? Don't do it if you see they're in the middle of doing whatever they want to do to relax. I don't know if he wants to watch a football game, or he likes to golf, or he likes to go ride his motorcycle, or if he just likes to, watch TV. That's not even a time to just start talking about something. And when you're ready to talk and you want to talk, ask. Listen, this will knock out, I believe, 90% of arguments. Just ask the person, do you feel like talking right now? I want to have a conversation. How do you feel about it right now? Instead of just starting the conversation, ask them if they feel like it. Because that's going to stop most arguments. Because if they don't start talking, because guess what? It's going to be in one ear, out the other. They're not even listening to you. They are not listening to you. So that is why it's important to ask, be respectful to your partner. Because you married them, right? Because you respect and honor them, right? You love them. That's one way to show it. So you definitely have to ask. Now, don't get me wrong. If you keep asking your partner and they just blowing you off, you got to find another way there, all right? And be honest with them and show them and tell them, like, I feel like you keep blowing me off. This is something that's super important. And tell them why. Instead of the nagging part of the angriness of this is what you did, let them know the opposite. Because, guys, we're all still humans. I think we lose that in these relationships we have with each other. And this is why I keep saying conversations are so important and being able to talk to people. Because if you can talk to people, you can get anybody to understand where you're coming from and get anybody to see your perspective. But if you can't talk and you yell and you get angry when somebody doesn't agree, You will never be able to win people over or get them to understand where you're coming from. So, okay, let's see. Okay, Von saying preach. So I got some men that are agreeing with me. Talk with Tori says, amen. Okay, cool. We got Poppy Blanco. He says, yo. Yep. Von says, we love peace. Yes, we love peace. Let's see. Let's see. Thank you for that, Von. Yeah, guys. I mean, it's and once you understand it, it's super simple. But the thing is, with this scripture, the thing is you have to walk this out, right? And especially women, you have to a lot of times bite your tongue. Men do too, but women, our tongue is like a viper. If you can be honest, I can be honest as a woman. I know my tongue is. And it's something about the way we can say things and the way we do things. It just hits. It hits other women and it hits men harder than just a man saying it, right? So, yeah, guys, you want to create an environment where he wants to come home. And then when he wants to come home, he will deal with whatever, because he knows that this is my peace, this is my sanctity, this is where I want to be. So whatever happens inside of these four walls, me as a man in this house, I'm going to be the one to take care of it. I'm going to be the one to figure it out, work it out. I'm going to be the one to help you, especially as a woman, his helpmate, to get a conclusion and resolution to it. And I only can speak for what I know and how, our house is in my relationship with my husband, and just me learning and growing as a woman and noticing like, oh man, I was slick when I said that. That was wrong. Even when I was younger, like, oh wow, I shouldn't have did that. Because a lot of times you have to see it. You have to be told it and see it, right? So it's super, super, super important, right? All right, guys, let's see. Once again, guys, let me know. I did drop the link. Let me know if there's anything that you guys wanted to discuss. I'm trying to see, I had something else up with that. As far as what other things were going on. Let me see. With that video, it was something else Will said I wanted to show you guys. Let me see.
We have devoted ourselves to each other.
In a spiritual sense.
In a spiritual sense. Spiritual,
right.
Emotional. It's like whatever she needs,
Right.
she can count on me for the rest of her life.
And vice versa. To me, it gives us the freedom to create a different context,
Absolutely.
first of all, for ourselves, and not have to live up to the expectation of what
Right.
people
Right.
consider marriage to
Right.
be.
Expectations are the mother of disappointment.
Oh my God, I can't do it.
Okay, do you guys believe that? He says expectations are the mother of disappointment. If you have expectations. Now, to me, no. I think there should be some type of expectation, but I do believe you have to walk in grace too. You should have expectations, and to me, there's some principles and concrete things me and my husband already know. There's some principle things that there's no exception for, right? But I think you still need to walk in grace. You should have expectations, because then what are you doing if there's no expectation? But I believe, especially when you're in a relationship or a marriage, or there should be a level of grace to, if somebody does do something to you or falls off or whatever, that you can have an understanding to forgive. You don't have to forget it like we talked about yesterday, but you should definitely forgive, right? That's super, super important. And it's totally, totally necessary to me. Let's see. Okay, Vaughn says not necessary, something you should just expect. Okay. And to me, standards are necessary. I mean, I think the way you worded it is more appropriate too, Vaughn. I think that's the way I meant to say it. It's an expectation. It is an expectation. There's certain things that I just expect that you're not going to do and you're not going to say. And if you did do it, okay, I'll allow some grace. But if you continue to do it, no. There's a certain expectation that I have that you're not going to continue to hurt me. And I'm not going to allow you to continue to hurt me. So then now we're going to figure something out there, because I'm not going to allow you to continue to hurt me. That's what you're not going to do. So I definitely believe there should be some type of standard set there. Definitely. Guys, this was something too. Some of you guys are old school and you like rap and stuff. Where is that article? Did you guys hear about this person? What is their name? Let me find this thing again. You guys heard about this guy? I know this name, Graham. Gosh, I gotta find that article again about that guy. You guys heard about it? He got. Where is it at? Grandmaster Flesh. Am I saying that right, guys? Flashmaster Flex or Grand Flashmaster and hey BTB, hopefully you're having a great day. What is the name of that? Let me find it, guys. You guys know what I'm talking about? The guy that he got in trouble for. I gotta watch my words, especially here. Grandmaster Flex, Flashmaster Flex. This guy, he got in trouble for hurting somebody. Where is it at? I can't even find it. I just seen it. It was some old school guy. Grandmaster Flash, Flashmaster. I'm probably saying that wrong, guys. I can't even. I don't even remember the guy's name. Oh, where is it? You guys know who I'm talking about? Grandmaster Flash. Yeah. Where is it? Let me find that article. You guys seen what happened to him? He got convicted, I believe. Grandmaster Flash. My goodness. Hold on. Let me bring this up. Okay. Hip hop pioneer Kid Creole's downfall. Kid Creole, member of the pioneering rap group, is convicted from 2017 deletion. Let me get that up. Do you guys know this guy? Any old school rap heads in here? Let me see if I can get the article up. Give me 1 second, guys. Hey, we got another channel member in the building. Hey, Peter the Investor. He says, Mrs. B Finesse, salute to you and your chat. Hey, Peter the Investor. Hopefully you're having a great day. I definitely did too want to get into the inflation and the rising, because I talked about this a week ago to you guys. I talked about the housing and the rent prices and how they were pricing people out. Now it used to be in the day it was kind of equal with mortgages and rent prices. Sometimes rents were lower, but now rent prices are up higher than even mortgage prices. It's almost 30 or 40%. And this is a conversation that needs to be had because most people rent. Not many people are getting loans. Guys, I'm waiting for that article to come up right now with Kid Master Flash. I'm probably saying that wrong or whatever. But I want to see how many old heads we got in here. Because I know the name, I guess you could say, Grandmaster Flash. But I'm waiting for the article to come up. Yeah, guys, did you guys hear about the rate of the cost of the living going up, especially in the bigger cities? And I talked about that, I believe, a week or two ago. The price of living, houses and situation. And basically, guys, they're saying now, especially in the South, a lot of these apartment owners and these condo owners, they're pricing out the area. The whole areas are being priced out, which means, like, let's say the rent, I believe they said this was in Miami. The rent was like maybe $800 for a studio. Now it's like $1,400. Who can afford a rent going up 100% like that? And so I really think about, like, guys, because when I talk about stuff, even when I talk about like money and business and all the things that are going on as far as money, business, and world news and things of that nature, you really have to think about this, guys, in a dynamic of how this affects society. Because you can't just walk around and think just because it's not affecting you, it won't come back to you. Because it definitely will. And you guys think about that. If the price instantly went up, like your rent, even if your rent goes up 20%, even if it goes to $1,000 and the rent goes up to $1,200, many people, I told you guys, I gave you the data on the Gen Z, and the millennials and the Gen X, and the money that's being made, and how much in society most people, well, we said almost 30%, or 30% of people are making $15 an hour, which is roughly what, 20 to 30,000. a year. And think about, guys, how $200 more in your housing expenses makes on, or can break you as far as your living. And you guys have to think about it too. We talked about the cost too. A lot of people don't realize and not trying to knock anybody to get it, but I'm just trying to give you the reality. Just because you get a house, can you afford a house? Can, in the long run? Because when you're renting, you have the maintenance man that comes. Anything that happens in the apartment or whatever, they'll pay for. They mow your lawn, they do the grass, all that. But when you own your own house, you have to deal with the taxes in your house, paying that every year. You have to deal with anything that goes on in the house you're paying out of pocket. You have to deal with any expense with the house too. And I don't think people pay that cost. And I always think about people that get really famous and rich and they buy these $1 million houses. And I'm thinking, I don't think they have, especially if they come from a low income area or not have anything. I think to myself, I don't even think they realize the taxes, number one, that they have to pay every year on that house. So if it's $1 million house, you're probably gonna pay what, $100,000 in taxes in a year. That's less than one. That's 1% of what that's the top 1% of earners in the United States, $100,000. And some people are paying that in taxes for their $1 million houses, right? And then the maintenance of the house, what goes into the house. I think that definitely needs to be conversations, because a lot of people don't know that. They think, oh, my dream is to buy a house. And if you barely have enough money to buy a house and you get it, one little expense in the house, the AC, the water pump, the sewer system, the roof, anything, if you don't have that together, can like devastate you. And also homeowners insurance, you gotta have that to have, and that's another cost that goes on top of that. So man, there's so many things that I really hope people are aware of as they move forward when they're looking and investing in things and things of that nature. Okay, so let me get it up, guys. Let me see if you guys know this guy. You guys didn't let me know if you know him or not. Let me get this up. Let me share the screen with you guys. Okay, let me stop sharing and then share this. Okay, his name, guys, it says Kid Creole, member of pioneering rap group, is convicted from 2017 deletion. Let me get this up. Share. Do you guys know who this is? I wonder if we got any old school rap folks up in here. Let's see. It says in New York Times. Here we go. Okay, let's see if we can see it. All right. You guys know who this is? Let me get his face up. There. I don't know if he looks the same to you guys as he did back in the day. I don't know if he looks the same, but let's see. Oh, yes. Thank you for this, Vaughn. This is true, guys. If you would like to be notified when Mrs. B Finesse goes live, you can ring that bell, Listen, guys, you have to turn on that notification bell, because with YouTube, there's so much stuff on so much on YouTube. It's so oversaturated with content that YouTube, the algorithm now really pays attention to if you are going into people's streams and live. So let's say if you haven't gone in, but it's not going to shoot you recommendations if you do not turn that notification bell on. So right now, stop and check. I'm gonna give you guys 10 seconds. Go in, make sure, go under subscribe, and make sure that you have that bell on for all. I don't know if it's dark when you turn the bell on or white, but just make sure you turn the bell on, because a lot of you didn't know I did a pop-up stream yesterday from the stream earlier that day, because there was a storm going on. So you missed it, but you can always catch the restream. But yeah, guys, make sure you turn your bell on right now. Also, too, guys, make sure you comment after the stream and go back and comment on old streams and videos. Shout out to you guys, too, in the community tab. You guys are going in deep when I ask questions. You guys are commenting, responding. So shout out to the Finesse fam for that. You guys are so awesome. I always appreciate you guys' engagement. And thank you guys for that. When I post things in there and ask you guys questions, you guys go in and respond. So thank you for that. All right, guys. So here he is. And it says the Bronx man, best known for being a founding member of the pioneering group Grand Flash and the Furious Five, was convicted of deletion on Wednesday in the fatal he stuck a homeless person. I'm not gonna say all the words, guys, because the algorithm goes crazy as far as monetization and stuff on videos. It's certain things, keywords and stuff, you gotta be careful saying. So that's what I'm trying to talk around it. And it's saying the man, Nathaniel Glover, who performed under the name Kid Creole, was found guilty after a trial in which prosecutors described the jury how while on his way to work in 2017, he deleted a homeless man during an argument on 43rd Street. Now, what in the world would possess him to do that? I don't even understand that. I don't know. I don't know if you guys know that guy or not, but yeah, that's been trending a lot. That guy, how do you say his name again? His name is Kid Creole, but he's Grandmaster Flash in the Furious 5. Grandmaster Flash. Were they a good group, guys, back in the day? Furious 5. I'm trying to see what... I don't think I remember that group, guys. Let me see what they look like. Oh, this group. Oh, okay, I remember this. Let me go into the images so some of you youngsters that don't know can see who this is. I think I kind of remember this group. Okay, hold on, guys. Let me show you. Who they are. Here. Oopsie. Share screen. I remember this group because they dress like the village people, kind of, sort of, right? Here we go. Can you guys see them? Them. That's the whole group. That's the Grandmaster Flash and the Furious 5. So what is this? This is what, the 70s, guys? That's him being arrested. Huh. Interesting. I know some of you know who these people are. Some of y'all trying to be quiet. You know who these people are. Vaughn says, wow. He says he looks too old to be cutting up. Exactly, Vaughn. He does look. Let me get that picture up. He looked too old to be cutting up like that. And I'm wondering, see, here's a picture of him. I'm wondering, Vaughn, is he, because you know all these famous people, Vaughn, they go through this whole psychosis of, that's what I tell you what fame will do to people. Some people want it so bad that they would do anything. And I'm wondering, as he moved forward in his life and the fame fleeting him and, you know, him not having that same status that he had before, maybe he was just trying to lash out on somebody. But that's horrible. That is horrible. I mean, that don't make any doggone sense. That doesn't make any sense. And it's really sickening that people would do that, to be honest. It's sickening. Let me see. Once again, guys, let me know if there's anything you've seen in the news that you wanted to discuss. It was something else I wanted to talk to you guys about. And if I don't get that up, then let's see. Oh, I wonder if you guys heard about the Elon Musk buying the Twitter shares. Did you guys hear about that? He bought what, 700,000 shares? Let me look that up. It says Elon Musk broke the law when buying up Twitter shares. This is what experts say. Let me see if you guys heard about that. I was reading about this a couple days ago. It says Tesla CEO Elon Musk appears to have violated federal law by allegedly by not notifying the SEC that he was buying up shares of Twitter, according to the report. All right, let's see what they say. It says the SEC regulations require Musk to notify the market his stake in the social media company has surpassed 5%. A delay that reportedly netted him a profit of $156 million. Musk shocked the world when he learned on Monday that he acquired a 9% stake in Twitter, making him the company's largest shareholder. Wow. Did you guys know that? He has the largest stake in Twitter now. The largest stake. That's crazy, guys. It says Musk investment in Twitter. Peter the Investor, did you know about this one? About Musk having the top shareholdership in Twitter. It says Elon Musk Musk investment in Twitter had reached 5% March 18th, but the markets weren't told of the acquisitions until Monday, right? Because the markets are down over the weekend, if you guys don't know that. It says after Musk filed his disclosure forms, Twitter's share price skyrocketed by 30%. and this is what a financial professor said. His name is David Cass. He says, of University of Maryland. He says, I really don't know what's going through his mind. Was he ignorant or knowledgeable that he was violating security laws? I don't know either. It's like these people seem like they can do what they want. I have no clue. But yeah, that's so Elon Musk owns a majority share in Twitter, if you guys did not know that, right? All right. Let me see. Don't expect Musk to be arrested, they said, or serve any time in prison, according to experts. It says the SEC will likely expose a 6-figure fine on the world's richest person, whose net worth is guys, did you know, man, last time I did a report on his worth was, I thought, 150 billion. Guys, you know how much this man is worth now? He is worth $280 billion. Oh crap, I didn't even know I froze there. He's worth 200, do you hear me? 280. He is worth $280 billion now. He was just worth like 150 million a couple months back. And he's $100 billion more on the list than Jeff Bezos. So because he was like 150 billion a couple months back, and Bezos was like 100 million. So he has over $100 billion more than Bezos, and Bezos is the number 2 richest person in the world. It's crazy. That is so crazy, guys. That is so crazy. So unless you guys have any other topics you wanted me to discuss, unless you guys had any more topics you guys wanted me to discuss, you see, I think I got through everything. I think I got through it all. Yes. Looking and see if you guys put anything in here. Also, guys, make sure you turn that bell notification on so you know. I'm going to double check and see if you guys turned that bell on when I go live. Turn the bell on if you have not liked. Make sure you hit that like button on the way in. Make sure that you please like, share, and subscribe to the channel. Thank you for all the support, you guys that joined the Finesse family channel memberships. Thank you guys for that sent the cash outs, and those that sent super chats and things of that nature, guys, this week. Thank you guys so much for that. Hopefully next week we'll be up and running. Down with a couple equipment things. I'm waiting for some parts so I can hook up some more equipment that I have and screens and stuff. So I'm working on one screen. I feel good about it. I feel like back when I started a couple months ago working off of the minuteness of my devices and setting up the new equipment and things. So thank you guys for that, for being here and showing up. And once again, we have another Freestyle Finesse Friday. Thank you, Vaughn. Another great show, Mrs. B Finesse. It's good to be back, and I'm glad you're back too, Vaughn. And I'm hoping your wife Shirley and your son are doing well. Shout out to you and her, that she's healing well, and you know you're taking care of her. And I so appreciate, like I said, guys, I know even with me, you guys see I go on hiatuses too on YouTube because, you know, handling stuff in the background, trying to do business and family stuff. And so I always, you guys are in my hearts and minds. And when I don't see you, I try my best, if I have a way to contact you guys, is to check on you, try to turn my game and not my heart if I don't, because I juggle a lot, but I do try to do that. And I'm so glad that I know that you're doing well, Vaughn, because I've talked with you. And for everybody else, make sure you look out for others. Make sure you look out for other people. Focus, as we always do here, guys, as I, educate and try to break down and teach things to you guys about that mindful mindset, about the finesse mindset. Always do what you can to help others and encourage others. Once again, we have another Freestyle Finesse Friday down again. Channel members, make sure you guys are checking. There's new links that I've put in, videos and different posts. So the Finesse Family channel members, make sure you guys are checking that. There's things I'm asking you guys. You guys are responding back, so thank you for that. And once again, we have another Freestyle Finesse Friday down. Thank you, gracias to everybody that is celebrating mi feliz cumpleaños de semana this whole week, birthday week for me. Thank you guys for that. I appreciate you guys so much for that. I appreciate that you guys were with me throughout the week. And once again, guys, always let me know if there's different topics and things you want to talk about, and or somebody maybe in your family, friends, relationships, there's something that they wanted to discuss or research, let me know. Shoot me an email or in the comment section, let me know things that you guys wanted to talk about, or maybe you want me to discuss again, because there's a lot of topics that you guys say you enjoyed. So once again, guys, hopefully you guys have a great weekend. You get rest and relaxation. You get to enjoy your family. Always remember, focus on your mindset. That is the key thing. And focus on trying to get understanding in your conversations. Let them be with anything in your relationships. Make sure you are talking. It's so important to talk, and it's so important to be cognizant of others. Be respectful. Be mindful, especially your partner and your spouses and people that are super close to you. Always look at yourself and see, what can I change, instead of focusing on pointing that finger at other people. Focus on you. What can you change? What can you choose to avoid and choose to not be around and choose to, receive? All right. So hopefully, guys, I helped you guys. Hopefully I blessed you today, encouraged you. Hopefully we got to laugh. Hopefully we got to learn something, get entertained a little bit. But for the most part, you learned and you got an educational foundation on concepts that were going on in the news and trending topics, guys. So you guys have a great day. And I will see you guys later. Adios, au revoir. See you later, guys.